Just 2 days ago, I watched back the interview in the press conference that you did with Chief Cantrell that followed the Free Tiana rally in San Luis Obispo. I found it interesting that I heard her say that she'll continue to do the work as long as you'd like her to do it. So now we're 2 days later and we learned she's going to another department. How do you explain that?
The chief made a commitment to the city for 3 to 5 years, and she's honored that commitment. She began this process with the city of Fairfield, and following that press conference, they contacted her and made her an offer, and she accepted.
Shortly after the press conference.
That's correct.
Okay. Were you taken by surprise by this?
I have a pretty close working relationship with the police chief, and we've been, as I mentioned, she made a commitment early on when she took her employment with the city for 3 to 5 years, and she's been with us nearly 5 years. The chief has been a partner in the national narrative about how to reform policing, and so we knew that she had, professional aspirations that she wanted to complete, and Fairfield checked the box for her.
Okay. Does the chief leaving have anything to do with the way that she has handled protests in the city?
No, I'm really, I am very interested in the next steps in the process. I am, really it's in the hands of our district attorney now, for the district attorney to be able to look at the case that was brought forward by the police department, and for the district attorney to make a decision about what charges should be filed, if any.
Okay. So these charges were brought forth by this police chief who is leaving, and they are now in the hands of the district attorney, as you say. Is there any involvement in city officials, city council, city mayor, now that the leadership of the police department is changing, or is it still all on Dan Dow at this point?
I'll just go back to, basic, high school civics. We have different branches of government, and we've got the executive branch, when the case of local government is the city manager. And we've got the judicial branch, which is the district attorney. And we've got the legislative branch, which is the city council. And so we don't have a role per se in that. And and the system is designed that way. It was designed to make sure that there was a separation of powers, and so that the judicial system could act independently.
Okay. In your press release the city's press release announcing that Chief Cantrell has taken the job in Fairfield as the chief there is no mention of any of the recent protests at all. But you do say in there that you will seek input from the community in finding a replacement for Chief Cantrell. So throughout this process, the community has been speaking. What kind of message have you heard from the community with regards to the kind of police chief that the people of San Luis Obispo want going forward?
What I think I hear from the community is they want a police chief that continues to work on the types of reforms that preceded Chief Cantrell, to work on de-escalation, to achieve the types of outcomes that we've achieved under Chief Cantrell's leadership, which is the reduction of the use of force by 50%, to integrate mindfulness and working with our social workers to make sure that we're taking care of the whole person. That's the kind of chief that I have heard that our community wants and needs, and to make sure that we continue to make progress on reducing crime in our community.
Okay. And just to be clear here, you're crediting Chief Cantrell with many of those things that you just said that you're looking for in another chief.
That's correct. I think what people are looking for is for a police chief that continues on the path of reform, continues to bring about policy changes and other changes to make sure that we're moving San Luis Obispo Police Department into a place they can be proud of in the 21st century.
Okay. Just lastly, anything you'd like to say about Chief Cantrell as she leaves?
I think, she, her move is the perfect intersection professionally and personally for the things that she wants to do. She has the ability to be closer to family. It is a challenging time for all of us. I'm optimistic that we'll be able to work through this as a community and as a city. I'm very proud of the fact that the City Council has formed a diversity, equity, inclusion task force. We're engaging people in our community that have felt marginalized, and we'll expect to hear from them on ways that we can meaningfully change San Luis Obispo into the future so that everyone feels welcomed.
Okay, that's all I have for you, sir. Anything else you'd like to add?
That's it. All right, take care.
Thank you.